Morning, guys. This is Mr. Choge, your tutor for accounting. If you're watching this, you're definitely at the right place. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking that subscribe button down there, and I promise you that will make your academic problems of accounting a thing of the past. With that out of the way, let's get into the lesson of the morning. Now, in this morning's lesson, we're going to do what we call bank reconciliation statement. Okay, I'm doing this as a final revision for your SBA so that you can be ready for your task. Where you have questions, guys, you're more than welcome to leave the questions on the comment section or to directly send a WhatsApp message. Okay, let's get into the lesson. So now, here we are firstly required to complete the cash journals for June 2020, and they're saying that note that the information from the bank statement was not taken into account. So in other words, the information that we get from the bank statement has not yet been recorded. So what must we do? We must record that information. So remember also the approach that I gave you. I said when you go to your information, extract number A should be the last item that you deal with, because most of the time it has got high order questions, and I want you guys to be able to collect marks. So start by recording the information that is available on the bank statement, but not in the cash journals, because most of the marks are going to come from there. So at least should anything happen, you would have been recorded able to get at least half of the mark for the for the task. So now what you firstly need to do, you need to make sure that your provisional totals have been correctly recorded in the journal. So that's what we are going to check. So when we check here, we can see that they have already transferred our totals, so it means that we won't have a problem. So we just need to go forward and record the information that is necessary. The provisional totals, remember, has not been recorded, so it means this has been dealt with. And then we are going to number C. Number C says that the following information on the June 2020 bank statement from XXZ Bank did not appear on the June cash journals. Number one, we have Pro Insurers, whom we are paying 5,890 for monthly insurance premium. Okay, so what we are going to do, we need to go to our CPJ and record that insurance. So remember, we are paying Pro Insurers. So under details, we are going to write Pro Insurers, and then the total that we paid them according to this is 5,890. So we'll write 5,890 here, and also under amount for the sundry account we'll write 5,890, and we explain that this is for insurance. So in this way you already have collected the marks. Okay, next they are saying that we paid Matcha being Metro, we paid them 6,000. Now they are explaining how this 6,000 was paid. 4,500 was for the business rate and taxes. Very important for us to be able to note that. So let's do it quickly like this. So in the bank, we're going to write the total that we paid. So remember, the person we are paying, it's Matcha being Metro. So okay, so I'm gonna try to write that. I'm not familiar with that name, so I'll just write Matcha being Metro. Okay, we don't have enough space, and then the total amount that we paid is 6,000. So I'll write 6,000 here. After writing 6,000 in the bank, then you split this to explain what was each amount for. So they said, according to our question paper, they said 4,500 is for rates and taxes. So you explain that 4.5 is for rates and taxes, and then you explain that the remaining balance, remember, they said the remaining balance is for the owner's private property. So if you take your 6,000, if you say 6,000 and then you subtract 4.5, you are left with 1,500. So because they use the word private, it means it's drawings. So we would have 1,500 for drawings. Okay, and then after this you proceed with the information. They are saying that we also paid Yen Bank 5,300 for monthly repayment of the loan. So we will write that we paid Yen Bank. How much did we pay? According to our information, they said we paid 5.3, so we'll write 5.3 here, and then also 5.3 under sundry, and then we explained that we were paying the loan. Okay, after this we move on. Next we have EFT fees, cash handling fee, service fee. Now all these fees we call them bank charges. So remember, the name of the bank is XXZ Bank. So we are going to write XXZ Bank here because that's the person that we are paying. Then from there, show the additions of your bank charges on the side. So 189 plus 112, and then we'll also say plus 292. They're giving us 593. Remember to show the working. So write 593 here, 593 here, and then we'll write that this is for bank charges. Okay, and then after this we can go to the next transaction. We have interest on bank overdraft. So remember, interest on bank overdraft, we record it separately because of the materiality principle. So we have to write it separately. So we'd have still the name of the bank, XXZ Bank, and then our overdraft according to the is 317. So we write that 317, and we explain that this is bank interest on overdraft. So we write interest on overdraft. Okay, very important for you to be clear about your account. So write interest on overdraft. And then once we're done with this, we go to the next transaction. The next transaction says that a deposit from PNL for 11,600 for his monthly rent. So once a person deposits money, we know that we are going to receive the money in the bank account. So we go to our CRJ. They said we got some money from PNL. So we're going to go there and write PNL. So we know that PNL paid us, they said it's a deposit of 11,600. So we'll write that 11,600 here, 11,600, and then we write rent income. Very important, guys. And then from there, what you need to do, you go to the next bullet. This one, it seems a little bit longer, but what you need to do, you need to make sure that you write your things correctly. The other thing that I want you to do is to make sure that you are you go to your BRS immediately and then write this information here, because we want every section where you can collect marks. Remember here, this one is a high order question, so I suggest that you deal with this so that at least you can also get marks on that BRS. Okay, so we're going to go there and write the format. Remember, our format for the BRS says that we are supposed to have balance as per bank statement, and then we would have our credit outstanding, deposit, and then we remember, according to our information, we only have one, and then we'll also say debit outstanding, EFT. Okay, so now when you go to that information, you will see that we have EFT number 654. So you enter that so that you can earn marks 654, and then the amount for that is 5,555. Okay, and then your credit outstanding deposit, they said it's 17,800. Remember, you already have read that this information does not appear on the current bank statement and is there in the current cash journals, so you just take it there. So outstanding deposit 17,800. So already by doing this, you already have 2 marks here out of 9, which is not bad. Okay, now let's go back to that transaction. Here they're saying that a debit order for 2,224 appeared on the business bank statement on 29 April 2022. Now they are saying that this was not an account of the business. Unfortunately, the owner was able to instruct the bank to cancel this entry. So what do we see here? Before we do anything, we can see that money was deducted from our account by mistake. So we must ask the bank to reinstate our money, because a debit order, it means that they deducted. Okay, and they're saying that this reversal will be reflected on the next bank statement. I think also what you need to do is to remember that on your BRS, the debit represents minus and the credit represents a plus. So because they debited, it means they deducted. So when we reverse what they did, when we do what we call correction of error, correction of error, we will write that deposit, EFT, we will cancel it on the credit side. So we'll write that 2,244 on the credit side. Okay, so it will come here 2,224 on the credit side. Then you have already earned 4 marks on that part. I hope, guys, this makes sense. Now next, they are saying that a direct deposit of 16,300 was wrongly reflected on the business bank statement. The bank will rectify the error. So now this next error is a bit different. The bank has deposited the bank has deposited money by mistake in our bank account. So it simply means that there's a deposit that was made into our account by mistake. So the bank must reverse this. So remember, when they were depositing, they added. So when we correct that error, we must deduct. So we'll take correction of error, and then we check what happened. So they said in terms of this error, we noticed that it was a deposit of 16,300. So that 16,300 must appear here. So we'd have that 16,300 here. Okay, and then next they are saying that a deposit from N Bota for 3,400 in settlement of his account of 3.5. So once you receive a money from a debtor, guys, what you need to you record what was actually deposited in the CRJ. So we'll write here that our receipt comes from N Bota, and then how much was deposited. They said he deposited 3,400. So that 3,400, you write it here 3.4. You don't write the debt that he was actually owing. You write the what was actually deposited, because he was given a discount. So that 3.4, we will write it here 3.4, and we explain that this is from a debtor. So you write debtors control, because that is the affected account. Okay, next one. So you can see already, just by looking at my answer book, you can see already Elena has earned marks without having to do any difficult work, and this will boost the confidence of Elena. Okay, now we can go back to the previous BRS and find out what's happening. So number one that we can pick from here, they're saying that the extract from the bank reconciliation statement on 13 May 2020. Number one, these are the outstanding deposits that we have. There's an EFT that appeared in the books but not on the bank statement, and also we have an unfavorable balance as per bank statement. So this is the credit balance, this is the opening balance of our bank account. Okay, now let's start with the information. They are saying that the outstanding deposit of 32,100 appeared on the June bank statement. So which outstanding deposit are they talking about? 32,100. They are referring to this. So if it has appeared on the bank statement, there's no need for you to record it again. Then we proceed with the next transaction. Next, they are saying that the outstanding deposit on the 26th of May 2020 was reflected as 5,700 because of counterfeit notes. Very important, guys. There were counterfeit notes included in the total deposit. So obviously, what the machine will do, if there are any notes, the machine will reject those fake notes. Okay, so now remember, the total that is shown in terms of the deposits, we showed 7,300 in the bank in the CPJ. So remember, in the CPJ, in your CRJ, you recorded that you deposited that you are going to deposit 7,300, so it's 7.3, right? But what the machine has accepted is 5.7. Okay, now so what we need to make sure is that we must update our record so that we have the same information in our books. So here, if you can see, we have two different amounts. The bank statement shows that it is actually, we have actually deposited 5.7, and then the CRJ shows that the deposit is supposed to be for 7.3. So obviously, because there were some fake notes, it means that we need to, but they're saying that this was for cash received for repair services, and that it was decided to write off the to write off this difference. Okay, so the written off must be done. So here we're going to say 7.3 minus 5.7, which gives us 1.6. So remember, when you write off a deposit, you write off in the CPJ. So we'll go back to our CPJ, and then uh, they didn't really give us information about this, so we can just write, when we go to the CPJ, because we don't know who is the person, we're going to write cash, and then the difference, remember, is 1,600. So we write 1,600, 1,600, and the reason we write that we are reversing services rendered. Okay, and then from there we go back to our information. You can take that that deposit has now already been mentioned, so you have dealt with it. Next, let's check in terms of our EFT. Next, they are saying that okay, let me go to the top. Next, they're saying that EFT 123 appeared on the bank statement for June, so that EFT has appeared correct. Okay, so the EFT, we just tick it to show that it has been mentioned. So you're going to tick that EFT to show that it has been mentioned. Okay, now here we are done recording our information. So what we need to do is totalize our journals, and then we will also answer some theory questions, because I am of the understanding that there are learners who struggle with the theory questions. Now, if you look at this, I'm trying to see if there's any information that we did not record that will affect our CRJ. Okay. So from PNL, we recorded. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, this one will normally be allocated. It will be allocated 2 marks, because it won't be easy for learners to. So we can have, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have recorded everything. Okay. So now, if you can see, everything has already been recorded. I don't think there's anything that we omitted. If there's anything, guys, you know at least how to approach the information. So now, what we need to do, guys, is to close up our journals. So we're going to say 56,200 plus 11,600, and then plus 3,400. So we are getting 71,200 here. 71,200, 71,200. Then you get your full 10 marks. So let's see, 56,200 plus 11,600, and then also plus 3,400. It gives us 71,200. And then from for our payments, we're going to say 67,400 plus 5,890 plus 6,000 plus 5.3, and then plus 593, plus 317, and then plus 1.6, and then we'd have 87,100. 87,100. Okay, so let's check again. 67,400 plus 5,890 plus 6,000 plus 5.3, and then plus 593 plus 317, and then plus 1.6, it still gives us 87,100. Now guys, I've noticed that majority of the learners are struggling with the bank account. So this is what you need to easily do. You don't need to use the ledger. You can just simply use the method that I'm going to show you. So you start with your receipts from last year. Your receipts, I mean for this month from the journal, it's 71,200. So you say 71,200, and then you check the type of balance that we have from last year's BRS. They said we had an unfavorable balance or a credit balance, so it means it's a minus. So you say minus 3,456. Okay, so minus 3,456, and then you also minus our payments. So our payments in this case is 87,100, and then obviously by just looking at this you can see that the answer that we're going to get is a negative. Remember, a bank, if it's a negative, it means it's a credit balance. So so we will then say 71,200 minus 3,456, and then minus 87,100. It gives us negative 19,356. So we'd have 19,356. Okay, so remember I said this negative indicates that bank, we can say that bank is equals to 19,356, and we indicate that this is a credit balance. Okay, then in this way you have earned your full 6 marks. Remember, 1 mark here, 1 mark here, 1 mark here. You'll also be allocated a mark for the type of balance that you have indicated. Okay, so we know that we have credit balance as per bank account, so we'll write here credit balance as per bank account. Okay, you write in full because you are a learner. Just that here I don't have space, hence I've abbreviated. So it's 19,356. Okay, and then from there we need to check which side is the biggest. So you can already see that your credit side is the biggest. So if we say 17,800 plus 2,224, and then we also say plus 19,356, they are giving us a total of 39,380. So we have 39,380, 39,380. Then if you take it and then you say you subtract 16,300, and then you also subtract those 4.5, it gives you 17,525. So it means you have a debit balance of your bank statement has a debit balance of 17,525. Okay, so now when you have done this, you have already earned a lot of marks. Now next we need to go to 4.4 and try to understand. You need to be able to see at how you can solve theory questions. Okay, so let's go to 4.4 and hear what they are saying. Next, they are saying that provide two suggestions that the business can use to prevent situations like the one experienced on 26th May 2020. So remember, the one that happened on the 26th of May 2020 is the one of counterfeit notes. So how can you avoid a situation whereby people don't pay you using fake money? Number one, you can encourage direct deposits. They can maybe just go straight to the bank and make payments. You can encourage direct deposits, and then also allow EFT payments by debtors. So you simply tell your customers to, if maybe they have bought something, you tell them to maybe make a deposit at the bank, or you can allow them to pay by EFT, whereby they can send the money electronically, or they can just swipe their cards and the money is deducted. That's what they want from you. Remember, when you do this, there's no physical cash involved, so it minimizes the chances of you being given fake money. Next, they're saying identify the problem that is revealed by the previous reconciliation and list two internal control measures to solve this problem. Now, guys, if you look at your previous reconciliation, the type of problem that you want is, you check for this the dates between, this is just a tip, check the dates between your deposits. You can see they deposit after a long time. There is what we call rolling of cash. It means they take too long to deposit. Now we need to indicate that there is what we call rolling of cash, or you can simply say money is deposited after a long time. So what can we do to make sure that we avoid a situation whereby money is not deposited after a long time? Now what you need to do, remember, the reason why we are depositing after a long time um is because people are paying cash. So maybe number one, you can start by depositing money daily. And then also what you can do, you can encourage EFT payments by data. So you encourage EFT payments by data. Okay, and then maybe a bonus reason that I can give you, there should be division of duties, and you must explain how. Remember, there's also a problem whereby that person so one person could deposit, one person can deposit, and the other records. Okay, and the last bonus reason, you can also say we can opt for the bank to update us on transactions via SMS. So maybe we can sign up to be updated for daily deposits by SMS. In this way, you will be able to track whether deposits are made daily or not. So guys, we have answered the entire question. Thank you guys for watching. May God richly bless you. Shalom. Remember, if you want me to become your online tutor, you can contact us on 073. I'm just gonna write the numbers here so that it can be easy for you to remember. You can call or text on 073 3208. And I promise you that will make your academic problems of accounting a thing of the past. Thank you for watching, guys. May God richly bless you. Shalom.